All right, let's dive in. Today we're taking a deep dive into the world of a pretty incredible creature.
Sounds exciting.
It is, trust me. We're talking about the Utila Spiny-tailed Iguana.
Okay, I'm intrigued already.
We'll be looking at a document called the Utila Spiny-tailed Iguana, Ctenosaura bakeri, a critically endangered species.
Ah, so we're dealing with a species facing some serious challenges.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. This iguana is actually critically endangered.
Wow, that's concerning.
And get this, they live in a pretty surprising place.
Oh, you've got me curious now. Where is that?
Well, we'll get to that in a bit, but first, let's paint a picture of what this iguana even looks like.
Okay, let's hear it. What are we dealing with?
Imagine a lizard, but bigger, bolder,
Okay, I'm picturing it.
and with some serious armor. Think up to 76 centimeters long. That's about 30 inches.
Whoa, that's a sizable lizard.
And the tail is covered in these spiky scales.
Now, those sound intimidating. Are they just for show?
Not at all. They're a key part of its defense mechanism.
Like a natural weapon?
Exactly. Think of it like a porcupine, but, more reptilian.
I see, so when a predator comes along.
Boom! That tail whips around, and those spines give him a good poke.
Ouch.
Oh?
Effective, but painful, I bet.
You bet. Speaking of defenses, they have another trick up their sleeve.
Oh, tell me more.
Color changing. The younger iguanas, they're a vibrant green.
And I'm guessing that helps them blend in.
Right on. They blend right into the mangroves where they hang out.
Ah, clever camouflage.
But as they get older and move around their habitat,
They change.
yep, they shift to a more subdued gray or brown. Camouflage against tree trunks and rocks.
So they adapt their look to their surroundings. Fascinating.
Pretty neat, huh? Now remember that surprising place I mentioned?
Oh yeah, you can't leave me hanging now. Spill the beans.
Okay, so these iguanas are endemic to a very specific location.
Meaning?
It means their entire population is found in one place and one place only, Utila Island in Honduras.
Wow, so their entire existence hinges on this one island.
That's right. And that makes them extra vulnerable.
I can only imagine any change to that environment could be catastrophic.
Exactly. And here's the real kicker. You wouldn't find these iguanas in a typical desert or rocky terrain.
Really? So where do they live? The rainforest?
Nope. Even more surprising.
Don't tell me.
Mangroves.
Mangroves. That's unexpected.
Right. They've adapted to thrive in those coastal forests.
Interesting. So the mangroves provide everything they need.
Everything. Food, shelter, you name it. It's their whole world.
This is truly a unique species then. Perfectly adapted to a very specific environment.
Absolutely. Okay, so picture this. We have a big, spiky, color-changing iguana living in the mangroves.
Got it. Sounds like a creature straight out of a fantasy novel.
No, with those impressive spines, you'd think they're fierce predators, right?
That's what I'm picturing, yeah. Tearing through their prey with those spines.
Well, prepare to be surprised. They're primarily herbivores.
No way.
Their diet is mostly leaves, flowers, fruits, all found within the mangroves.
Huh. Peaceful vegetarians then. Not what I expected.
I know, right? Those spines might fool you, but remember, herbivores play a vital role.
Oh, absolutely. Seed dispersal, right.
Bingo. As they munch their way through those mangroves, they're spreading seeds all over.
Helping those mangroves to thrive and regenerate.
Exactly. They're like little gardeners, keeping the ecosystem in check.
Incredible.
Hmm.
But those spines, do they ever come in handy for food?
Occasionally. They do snack on some invertebrates now and then. Insects, crabs, to mix things up.
So a little bit of surf and turf for our mangrove iguana.
That's one way to put it. It seems like life's pretty good in the mangroves, right?
It does, yeah. They've got their defenses, their camouflage, a good food supply.
But unfortunately, it's not all smooth sailing.
Uh-oh. What's the catch?
Well, remember how we talked about them being endemic?
Yeah, that one island, all their eggs in one basket.
That makes them incredibly susceptible to any threats to their environment.
And I'm guessing there are a few.
More than a few, unfortunately. We're talking habitat destruction, illegal hunting, invasive species.
A triple whammy.
A triple whammy indeed. And that's what we're going to dig into next.
It's kind of like their superpower is also their Achilles heel.
What do you mean?
Well, they're perfectly adapted to those mangroves, right?
Right, it's their whole world.
But that also makes them incredibly sensitive to any changes in that environment.
Ah, I see. Like putting all their eggs in one basket, as we said.
Exactly. If something happens to the mangroves, the iguana has nowhere to go.
And unfortunately, those mangroves are facing some pretty serious threats.
Yeah, and most of them are tied to us, humans.
Uh-oh.
Uh,
Not surprising, but still disheartening.
we're talking habitat destruction, illegal hunting, invasive species.
A triple threat to our iguana friend.
Sadly, yeah.
We touched on habitat destruction earlier. Can you unpack that a bit more?
Sure. Basically, as the human population on Utila grows.
More people need more space.
Exactly. And that means clearing land for development, housing, agriculture, you name it.
All at the expense of the natural environment?
It's a tough balance. And the iguanas, their home is literally being bulldozed to make way for all of this.
So it's not just about losing living space, it's about their entire ecosystem being disrupted.
Right. Think about it. Habitat destruction leads to fragmentation.
Fragmentation?
Yeah, the remaining patches of mangroves get isolated from each other.
Like islands within an island.
Exactly. And that makes it harder for the iguanas to find mates, to disperse seeds, to maintain a healthy population.
So their world shrinks, and their ability to thrive shrinks with it.
Sadly, that's the case. And then you add in illegal hunting.
Oh, yeah. What's driving that?
Well, there's a demand for them, unfortunately.
For what?
Some people consider them a delicacy. And then there's the pet trade. They're seen as exotic.
It's crazy how something as basic as, I don't know, someone wanting a cool pet or a unique meal can push a species towards extinction.
It's a complex issue with no easy answers.
And then on top of all that, there's the issue of invasive species.
Ah, yes. Remember how we talked about Utila being a small island?
A closed system, yeah.
Any new species introduced can really mess things up.
So we're not just talking about natural predators, right?
Not necessarily. Domesticated animals are a big problem.
You mean like cats and dogs?
Exactly. They prey on young iguanas and their eggs.
And because of that island dynamic, the impact is amplified.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Right.
So you've got habitat loss, hunting pressure, invasive predators.
It's a lot for one species to overcome.
It is. But it's not a hopeless situation.
Oh. There's still hope for our spiny-tailed friend.
There is. There are some amazing people working hard to make a difference.
That's good to hear. In our research, we came across the Iguana Research and Breeding Station.
They're doing great work.
Tell us a little more about what they're doing.
They've got a multifaceted approach.
Meaning?
Well, first off, research. Understanding the iguana, its behavior, how the population works, that's crucial.
It's like gathering intel before you go into battle.
Exactly. Knowledge is power. Then there's captive breeding programs.
To boost the population.
Yeah, it's a way to ensure that even if the worst happens, there's a reserve population.
Kind of like a backup copy, just in case.
Precisely. And then, of course, you have habitat restoration.
Replanting mangroves, giving them space to recover.
That's a key part of the solution. And they're also really big on education.
Educating who?
The local community. It's all about raising awareness, helping people understand the importance of this iguana and how they can help.
So it's not just about scientists working in a lab, it's about getting the whole community involved.
Absolutely. It's about fostering that sense of stewardship for the environment.
That brings up an interesting question for our listeners.
Are you going to put them on the spot?
Maybe a little. We've been talking about this one iguana on this one island, but these issues aren't unique, right?
Not at all. What we're seeing here is a microcosm of what's happening all over the planet. Countless species are facing similar challenges.
So what can we, sitting here listening to this, do to actually make a difference?
It's easy to feel powerless, but trust me, you're not.
Give us some hope here.
Even small actions, when multiplied by millions, can have a ripple effect.
I like that ripple effect. It emphasizes that we're all connected in this.
We absolutely are. And you have more power than you think. Every choice you make, every product you buy, it all has an impact.
So it's about being mindful of those choices.
Exactly. Think about where your food comes from, the companies you support, how you get around. Even small changes add up.
Okay, so mindful consumption. What else can we do? Okay, so mindful consumption is a good starting point. What else can we do to help these iguanas and other species facing similar challenges?
Well, supporting organizations on the ground is huge.
Like the Iguana Research and Breeding Station.
Exactly. They're doing the hands-on work, the research, the breeding programs, the habitat restoration.
But there are so many organizations out there. How do you even choose?
It can be overwhelming, yeah. Think about what you're passionate about. Endangered species, protecting habitats. Find an organization that aligns with your values.
And do your research, right? Make sure they're legit.
Absolutely. Transparency is key. Look into their track record. See how they're using their resources.
What if someone can't afford to donate? Are there other ways to help?
Definitely. Volunteering your time is invaluable.
And you don't have to fly to Honduras to volunteer.
Nope. There are conservation efforts happening everywhere. Find a local group, get involved in your community.
You could volunteer at a park, clean up a beach, plant some trees.
Exactly. Even small actions can make a difference.
It's about finding your niche, something you care about and can contribute to.
And don't forget the power of your voice.
Speaking up.
Yeah. Talk to your friends and family about these issues. Share information online. Write to your elected officials.
Use your platform to raise awareness, however big or small.
It all adds up. Remember, change doesn't happen overnight.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly. But every step counts. Every action moves us closer to a healthier planet.
That's a great note to end on. A reminder that we all have a role to play in protecting the incredible diversity of life on Earth.
Even a creature as seemingly far removed as the Utila Spiny-tailed Iguana.
Their fate, and the fate of countless other species, is interconnected with our own.
We have the power to make a difference. And it starts with awareness, with understanding.
And with action, no matter how small it may seem.
Every ripple counts. So let's all make some waves.
That's it for our deep dive today. Thanks for joining us. We hope you learned something new and feel inspired to take action.
Remember, the future of our planet is in our hands.
Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.